Greetings, Moonlight citizens. This is your Moonlight King with Moonlight Kingdom Podcast 44. This is a different one. This isn't sitting in the realm of fiction. This is mostly positioned in fact. It's what's been going on this past while. It's why there's been a bit of a gap, like a really long pause between episodes, and why I haven't. I mean, I've been doing Fill the Mode a bunch, but this is kind of one of the reasons why I've been you know, kind of spaced out in terms of podcasts. I've been taking time off to do some more, what's the word? Well, some soul searching and some deep introspection and getting my mind right. I didn't have my dome straight. And, you'll see some of that in here. You'll see, like, there'll be some moments where I seem lucid, where I seem like everything's cool, everything is all right. And then towards the end, there'll be that moment where it's like, everything's not all right. And then it'll come back in. It's like, but at the same time, I didn't bring this here just so I can show you, hey, watch me when I'm not okay versus when I am okay. No, this is to show off, like, hey, here's this really interesting person that I've encountered over the course of my time scrolling through TikTok. And it shows like the good you can get, good you can find. While there are fools standing in the while there are fools on TikTok posting ridiculous clips of themselves doing foolish things, or there are the obvious comedy folks who'll be posting dance videos in the middle of the fucking living rooms for whatever, or just people recreating film scenes or movie clips or what the fuck ever. Every now and then you do come across like a live stream or something that isn't gaming related. It's not, you know, just political related. Sometimes it's just about like someone asking a question of the general public, not to inspire hatred, but as a way to educate and open up a dialogue and start conversation on something that would otherwise, no one would talk about. And that's kind of what I'm here for. That's what these following clips of audio are. There's this individual on TikTok. I just found them a couple months back. They started doing live streams, and I've been on a couple times. As a guest. Uh, not like not like to. I mean, I've grown to really respect and admire this person and the encounters that we've had on this app, and we've been just with me and the assorted, cast of characters they bring onto their live stream. They're pretty unique individuals, and they're very well spoken, well educated, and well versed in the topic that they bring to the table. So to be able to make these clips of them, I mean, get these isolated incidents is really good. So yeah, that be that, and that's what this is. I'm gonna shine a spotlight on this person, and like here are these conversations that I've had with this person, and yeah, these are really good. It's just I want to put these up here and to change the pace of things because I don't really cover more LGBT related topics. I want to try to cover more LGBT related topics, and I would if I could, but like I alone am not. I understand enough to know that I'm not the guy to just come up here and speak on an entire community on myself. I would need to bring people up here who do know more about the community, who are reflective of different aspects of it, because I'm smart enough to know that I don't know, and it's a case of when I don't know something, I'll admit like, yeah, I don't know, but I'm gonna try what I can to find out. But I'm just one man. To really get the full scope of things, I would need to bring in someone who knows more about it than I do. And that's what this attempt is here. Now, granted, this isn't a back and forth dialogue. This is just a series of clips that I've strung together of the different interactions we've had. So, yeah, there's going to be various moments throughout these clips where it seems like there's a stop start. There's like, a bunch of times throughout these clips where I'll be like, hey, how's it going? There'll be a greeting and then it'll end like after 5 to 8 minutes and you'll hear goodbyes a bunch of times over. But yeah, that's that. And it's just, I didn't do this with the intent to string this together into a podcast, but it's just like, I want to shine a light on this person and, let, show like the, it's something that does need to be talked about. The community is as it is now, as it has been, does need a spotlight on it and just brought up in normal conversation, like open forums and spaces such as this. And the fact that TikTok allows for that is actually really good. It is generally doing some good. I don't always see folks who, you don't always see folks come in and have their minds changed and like, wow, I felt one kind of way about these people. Now I'm going to come out of this and feel a whole different way. No, that doesn't happen. But it does happen where, people who were otherwise uninformed will come in and be better informed than they were before. They'll have answers to questions that they previously didn't have anyone to ask. So, yes, the fact that this live streamer is out there doing good work and helping people, keeping people informed and actually trying to combat forms of bigotry when some people do come up and all they just want to do is spew hate or accuse members of the community of being of having a mental illness when it's not. That's not it. Of trying to spread misinformation, they're always ready and there to check that with the people that they have on their panel, and that's just a positive. Now, granted, we don't always agree on everything. I mean, with regards to the LGBT, everything's generally copacetic, and we do find common ground in just about everything that does come up. But, there are those times where we do stray somewhat from LGBT related topics and we talk about other things. And that's when, like, there's a little bit of friction coming in on that. But otherwise, everything is chill. Well, yeah. Anyway, that's this episode. Just a really long intro, folks. A really long fucking intro. But don't worry, subsequent episodes will be returned to your regular scheduled programmings. I will cover Marvel, DC, action movie, sci-fi stuff. I got some reviews on the back burner. Got some things I want to cover on podcast. Got plenty of Feeling the Mode coming your way. Don't worry, fans. Don't worry, Moonlight citizens. It's up. It's gonna be good, all right? The moon will rise again, okay? Shit. Anywho, this has been, I am your Moonlight King. This is a Moonlight Kingdom podcast, episode 44. Get ready to kick it off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Assistant to the peers there, which is also something that I've done.
Yeah, but it's not like
so that's sometimes what my payment is. But if I'm actually learning how to peer some individuals, I have to pay for the meetings that I'm using.
Yeah, that is understandable because you're getting some experience out of that, and you are moving towards something.
For the space as well because I'm using the space.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The idea of like unpaid, internship where you're just like getting people coffee and like work in the mailroom. It's like, what am I getting from this other than being somebody's bitch boy? But other than that, yeah. In regards to tipping, like I'll tip a waitress. I can understand that. See, the waitress is getting screwed over in terms of pay.
But so are tattoo artists and piercers, and so are hairstylists. You realize they don't get that money. A lot of it goes
to the shop, yeah.
And getting the supplies.
Yeah, I know. Hairstylists rarely own the space that they occupy. It's more often than not a lease.
I was lucky enough to walk out of the door every night with $150 because of how much I had to pay back.
Didn't get a lot of customers?
It's not the fact that I didn't get a lot of customers, it's the fact that I was an apprentice. I had to pay for the product, and I had to pay for the space, and I had to pay to actually learn. So there was a lot to it. If it was just me having to pay for the product, the space, and I was just a piercer at that time, I would have walked out the door with like 500. Again, it differs person to person.
Yeah.
And job to job and boss to boss. There are so many factors in that you can't say, well, I'm going to tip this one profession because I think they're worthy of tipping because they meet my requirements for tipping, when so many other jobs also meet those same requirements who are still getting screwed over.
Yeah, and I'm not telling you that you need to buy requirements for tipping, right? Because I tip above and beyond because I believe that the individual artist that is working on me, whether it be hairstylist, nail technician, tattoo artist, piercer, I will tip them close to 40 or 50% of the actual price that they need because they want for them. But I'm not saying everybody has to do that. I think at least it needs to be 15 to 20%.
True. I'll grant you that, but I will not abide those people saying that a gratuity should be a given just cause, even if like someone didn't go above and beyond. Just from my view,
I think every individual waitress, even if they're providing a horrible service, still needs to be tipped.
That
100%, at least the 50%, which is the minimum. 100%, I think they still need to be tipped.
They're still providing a service, and whether or not you think they deserve it.
deserves got nothing to do with it. They earn what they get.
No, I don't agree with that.
No, they're still doing a job, and at the end of the
Yeah,
day,
that's what I'm saying. You earn that. If I give you gratuity, you earn that gratuity.
words are still coming out of my mouth. I would appreciate it if you let me finish.
By all means.
At the end of the day, they're still doing a job. They're still working, and you don't know what caused that bad service. You don't know whether or not they just had to deal with a bad customer. They just had to deal with something from their boss, whether or not they're dealing with something in their personal life that could be affecting. Maybe they have a medical condition that is giving them some trouble. People are allowed to have bad days, whether or not they're in a service industry.
Thank you from the audience.
I worked in the service industry for a very hot minute. I understand.
We thank you for your service.
I was raised by a person who was of the same mindset that because they got bad service, they don't have to tip. But then I became a service worker, and I was in the service industry, so I understand both sides of the coin. I'm one of those people that believe every person should at least work 6 months in an industry job because it gives you back some of your humanity and it gives you an understanding what these people have to go through on a day-to-day service.
In some ways, but not all.
Excuse me, let me finish. Again, they are having a bad day. And maybe they don't intend to take it out on you. But at the end of the day, they're still doing a job and they deserve to be paid fairly.
Can I ask you a question?
Me or...
Not you, Raven.
Oh, okay. Ask away.
Yeah. So if you order from DoorDash and your order ends up being incorrect, do you fault the driver for that?
The driver? No. I wouldn't fault the driver. They're not the one who stacked the order.
Correct. Right? Just like how servers are like in control of outside experiences where like possibly their job just their imposters got done yelling at them over something in the back room.
If the food is bad, I'm not going to blame the waitress.
Like giving you good service.
True.
There are many outlying factors that can go into it. So I still think that they need to be tipped at least the minimum wage, or the minimum requirement, which is 15%. The gratuity check is specifically for that aspect.
Check.
Are you aware? The gratuity percentage specifically? Like if you go to a restaurant, they have a gratuity thing. I think it's 5-10% or something like that. That's what that accumulates for.
Over here, it's on the receipts.
Aspect, right. On top of that, right. Are you aware that specific tip doesn't go all directly to them? That it's a shared thing. And I fucking hate this too. It's shared between the cooks, the other servers, the busboys, the front of house.
The people who see you.
The hostess.
Yeah.
And then it's also the right? I'm a full advocate for the fact that money should go to all those individuals. First off, cooks are being paid more than minimum wage. Why the fuck are they getting the tip? Secondly, if I'm not ordering a alcoholic beverage, why the fuck is the bar getting the tip?
Yeah. Most places will require their waitresses, especially if they're getting cash tips, to pile that all together, and it typically gets spread out between everyone. So you may tip a waitress $10, but if that waitress or waiter is the only one who got a tip, then $10 is getting split up between 10 to 15
Hi YouTube
people,
and hi
depending on
everyone
how
who
many
is watching on
people are
stream
working
right now.
that night.
So
But
we are going to, first
so,
of all, I have
yeah.
a fan.
you're screwing people over by not tipping them if they're having a bad attitude.
That's why I say I would require, for me personally, I'm going to pay someone even with a bad service.
Sorry about that. That was a random. I don't know what the fuck happened. That video just started up on its own. But yeah, back to the conversation about tipping and whatnot.
50% or maybe 20%. I think 20% is not the new one. But yeah, because I can't attribute to the outside factors. Generally speaking, even if they provide me a terrible service, I still tip them really well.
And I'm seeing people in the comments being like, no, that's not how it works. I'm a server, I'm a cook. You're a server and you're a cook at one place, but you're not a server or a cook in all places. Some places do this, some places don't. It's always better to tip, but especially if you don't know how that restaurant operates.
Hey, fun fact. If you can't afford to tip, but you can afford to go out to eat, stay the fuck home. Stay home. Or make dinner yourself.
Exactly. I know people.
You are not entitled to the services of others if you're not going to pay them for their service.
Exactly.
I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if you agree with all these. If you actively aren't tipping because you don't want to, go fuck yourself.
Hmm. 15 now. It's 15 over there, right?
15 or 20.
Really?
Really depends where you're at.
Some
20 is
restaurants change it. I think some do 20, some do 15, some do 10. I know the gratuity is generally like 5 to 10.
Yeah, it's like,
Which is already automatically taken out.
yipes. So at the end of the day, my $10 is divvied up amongst everyone else, and it amounts to almost nothing.
Yep, so that waitress that you gave the $10 to, they probably only got like maybe 50 cents of it.
Wow.
Depending on how many people were working that day. Yeah.
And how the restaurant divides it up, because I'm not sure if this is still true, but I have heard of certain restaurant keeping a portion of the total tips made that day before they divvy it out.
Yeah, Bob Evans had a lawsuit against them because of stealing wages from stealing tips from other people and not documented. That happens.
Okay. When we're talking waiters, do we mean like high-end restaurants or mom and pop diner?
It varies from restaurant to restaurant. Not all restaurant does it the same way, but it's generally the common practice with the restaurants to do it this way.
Okay. Because there's a lot less people to deviate up between in like random roadside diner in the middle of nowhere. There's like people in the kitchen and the waitress. There's no hostess and I'm sure there's probably people cleaning dishes and stuff, but it's more often than not likely that in those kind of spaces, the waitress does pocket the money that she's tipped. That does go larger to her because she's the one who actually gave the food.
As I stated before, it varies from restaurant to restaurant, but generally this is common practice within restaurants specifically. Also, for someone that said if you don't like it, then don't work at a restaurant, go fuck yourself, because not every job is super easy to have.
Who said
The
that?
only reason I had service industry job is because of I couldn't get hired in. Because not all places wanted to hire a 16-year-old.
It's harder to have jobs now, and honestly, restaurants are a lot easier to work for or to get a job with than any other because they're hiring, always hiring, because of how they treat their staff 24/7.
True. There are.
Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about?
I mean, I can agree that there are outside forces beyond the control of the consumer that can affect how they receive the services they pay for. I can acknowledge that. But I was in teaching practice, we're taught very early on, whatever issues you may have, whatever preconceived notions or problems, you gotta check that shit at the door. I'm not saying that. Honestly, I do believe this should be. For heaven's sake, allow me to finish. We are taught that, yes, you need to check that shit at the door, because when you get in there, like, you can't bring your bad day onto these children. You cannot bring whatever issue you were harboring on the way in here into the classroom, because it's going to mess up your ability to teach. And in turn, it's going to mess up their ability to learn, and so on and so on.
For a boss to just scream at their employee in the back room, that ruins their day. How are they supposed to just leave that at the door? Because now that's going to affect the whole day.
Exactly.
Because now they're under a microscope with their boss for no fucking reason. Because that does happen. How's that their fault?
It isn't their fault. It's that fucking boss. They're the one that should check their shit. Like I'm saying.
No, as such, you can't make that statement. It was very, very uncool of him. I don't generally have an issue with you, but you seem like a pretty shitty person based on this now.
Yeah, I'll admit it. Shit, I'll be the first to tell you. I'm an asshole. But then again, hey, I can't be that much of an asshole. You did bring me on here. You'd have kicked me a long time ago if I was a major
I
asshole.
generally don't hate you, and I don't hate you now, right? I don't generally disagree with you on stuff because you're very well educated on things and we have good conversations. But currently, right now, you arguing about tipping a waitress because they didn't give you good service because they got screamed at by their boss, that just makes you a really shitty person.
All right. Well, you have your view on the matter, and I have my view on it. If that makes me a shitty person, then we see things differently, I suppose.
I mean,
but
if you're not
hey,
willing to see that person as a human being and understand that people can make mistakes,
I get it.
They shouldn't have been treated that way in any form of way. And you just want to pay the minimum, which is what they deserve, which is minimum wage essentially, because that's what that tip is for, is minimum wage specifically. If you're against that, then yeah, that would make you a shitty person.
If someone is treated horribly in their workplace, nobody should be treated horribly in their workplace. There's a serious.
I agree, but unfortunately, that's the factor within the food industry specifically. That's why they're always hiring, because they're always just mistreating their workers.
Treating people so badly they
it's
quit.
the easiest job to get, because they're constantly always hiring 24/7.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Yeah, I really do. I really do wish that wasn't the case. Treat people with kindness, and more often than not, you'll get more out of someone with the carrot than you would the stick. But then again, there are a lot of employers and bosses and whatever that are just all stick because they think it'll get the best results. And more often than not, it backfires and ends with someone leaving. And it's what leaves the job market so open for people to come in, and at least this revolving door of employees. And that's a sign of terrible management more than anything.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Well, no, not really. Have a good day.
You too.
I wanted to mention that it actually kind of ties into the men suck at conversations part, because from what I've
It
seen,
100% does.
yeah, it does. Because from what I've seen in cases of friend zoning, or as we call it, bug zoning, where you can clearly tell this dude is in this to just get with this woman, and there's no genuine attempted friendship here. But like in those cases, in more often than not, it falls into a case of this dude cannot state his intention clearly enough, so it just falls back on maybe if I hang in there and just be a good friend, surely if I do this and bide my time, this girl will see me for the good guy I really am, and we're gonna end up together. That never happens.
Yeah, that's literally why when people send me a hi message in my request, I'll respond with, "Did you need something?" Because then they'll beat it up with, "No, I just wanted to say hi." No, the fuck you didn't. You want something. What the fuck do you want? What are your intentions of messaging me? Because you could say this stuff to me publicly on my social medias. Why do you have to say it to me privately in my messages?
Yeah.
Like, what is it that you have to say to me privately that you can't say publicly?
Too true. And just the thing is, I've been on the receiving end of people in the friend zone where I've generally tried to let it be known up front when I talk to a girl, like, hey, if I want to pursue friendship, it's like I generally say, like, there's no romantic feelings here, but if I do seek to pursue any kind of romance with someone, I let it be known up front, like, I'm gonna be friendly, I'm gonna be a good dude, but I do want to see if there's something here between us. That way, there's no thing about like 3 months down the line, you're like, well, we've been talking for 3 months. Surely I'm owed something. Like, no, you're not. Like that's bullshit. You didn't let it be known. And then they always come off bitter and say like, oh, you led me on. Like, nah. Like any friend zoning that it happened here was purely self-imposed in those instances. But like,
it's disgusting when they're like, oh my god, they led me on. Like, no, they fucking didn't. And I'm not saying that this happens to just, like, this is just men doing this. Women do this too. Like, I've talked to some of my, friends that are, like, women, because they've given me the example of friend zone, and I'm just like, no, you, like, were sexualizing that person.
Yeah.
Like, it's on both sides, but the friend zone is a misogynistic take. Because arguably all you're making a statement on is that because you're a friend for someone, because you're doing the bare minimum for them, they owe you their body, and they owe you all your time. And that's not the case. It's a disgusting viewpoint. You don't own anything.
Yeah.
Your friends don't owe you jack shit.
Yeah, that is very true. This shrink I was seeing, he described something similar, like it's a infatuation. Like you fall in love with the idea of a person that you have in your head, as opposed to like actually falling for this person. And when they don't match up with the idea, like people get mad. It's like it's messed up to hold someone to a standard that they didn't agree to. But yeah, and it definitely, it's whether or not, yeah, it's a terrible thing. It's a very real thing out there that exists. Because also those people are super annoying because they're always there. They're always there around their respective girl or the respective dude that they want to be with. They're always there. So when someone does come along who genuinely wants to pursue any kind of relationship, they will shut that shit down. It'd be hilarious if it weren't so tragic.
I just want to make something known here.
Yeah.
The individuals that are like responsible for like saying the friend zone are the same individuals that will look at their partner that they're with, who is a girl or a man, depending on which one they're on, and they will say the opposite sex can't be friends with one another.
Yes.
Prevent that individual from having a friendship with someone that is of the opposite sex. I see it with toxic relationships all the time, with men telling women that, like, no, you can't have a man best friend. It's not happening. Unless they're gay. That's the only way that's going to happen. And I'm just, like, sitting here, like, are you really that insecure in yourself? Like, that makes no sense to me. Like, you're with them. Congrats, boo-boo. You're fucking, like, you're good. I don't understand why the fuck you think that you have to objectify your friend or objectify your girlfriend at that moment in time. Be like, you can't have best friends. Like, why are you so insecure of yourself? Why do you not trust your partner?
Oh, thank you. Damn. So I thought I was going crazy. Like it was just me running into this crap. But yeah.
No, it's literally it's the same men that do that. Because what will end up happening is, and this will also happen with them, where if they have a friend of the opposite sex, like this man has a best girlfriend, right?
They'll be like, it's nothing.
And they're
like,
with a girlfriend, and they'll hang out, and the girlfriend's like, I don't really feel comfortable with you hanging out with that friend all the time. I'd like you to spend time with me. And they'll respond with, chill, they're just my friend. Like, how is that any different? Wait, why did I get a flag? What did I do? Bitch, what?
What up?
I got a flag. I don't know why.
But yeah, that level of insecurity, it's incredibly toxic to just be under the impression that girls cannot have guy friends because apparently every dude out there is on some nefarious mission to get with them. Like, no, girls can have guy friends and just be guy friends. There are a number of girls that I've just been friends with, and it's never gone anywhere beyond that. And I'm cool with it because it was established early on. Like, yeah, we're friends. But it's not more than that because either I'm in a relationship or they're in a relationship or some such shit. Or if it's the other way around, dudes having female friends, they will 100% be like, oh, no, they're just a friend. Oh, them? I don't think of them like that. Like, yeah, you have at some point, though, man. Like, but don't lie. Yeah.
Yup.
But yes,
yeah.
Men sucking at conversation.
I'm going to move on to the next person,
yeah.
But Moon, I absolutely love you. I love when you come up here. I'm really looking into making an emote that says W Moon because, like, you're an amazing human being, and I need to protect you at all costs.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
I may disagree with your views on tipping because we need to have a serious conversation about that one time.
The trans women are women. It's not so much. I think it's just a question because there have been like people that I've seen who've said that they've known their whole lives they were trans since they were very little, and that they were never men. They were women the whole time. It just went through a process of making the outside match the inside, and I get that. But at the same time, there are also people who said, yeah, I was a dude, but I'm now a woman. So I'm just curious, is it an either or situation, or is it like both, where in terms of like what like goes into like making a trans woman a trans woman? Because
since the beginning of their existence, right? So I would argue that individual was like, yeah, I looked like a dude, but I'm a woman now. Arguably, that's really dangerous aspects to say, but they're not incorrect. They did look one way, and now they look this way. But they've always been that.
okay, there was this doctor who described it as in the simplest way he could put it was a female, like born with a female brain in a male body. Is that right, or is that like?
Oh, okay, I got a flag. So here's the thing, right? So right now, there's no evidence or conclusive evidence enough to determine that there's a difference between the male brain or the female brain. There's just not enough conclusive evidence whatsoever. Within the male brain and the female brain, there's really no differences. They are looking through it, they are doing research on it, but there's nothing right now that's showing proof that there's an actual difference between the two brains. So I cannot speak on if that's correct or not.
That's fair. No, though there is no evidence scientifically backing that, it would, like, just from what I've seen, go some way to like simply break it down to somebody of like, I don't know how, when someone were to ask how can someone be trans, it would be like the simplest way to say it's like, well, internally someone is one way, but on the outside it's totally different. Like, yeah, that would be an easy way to explain it. But as you said, like, still finding out whether or not, still finding evidence to back up those claims. And that was really...
Yeah, we don't have any conclusive evidence that backs up the fact that we have reasoning for why transgender people are born the way that they are. We just know that they are because we have evidence of these individuals claiming this is their existence and stating these things. So we have no way to determine if it's wrong or not because it's based off of anecdotal experience of that person saying I am, therefore I am kind of thing. But we have no conclusive evidence specifically stating it's this way or another. We know that it's developed in the brain, but we don't know at what point in time it is, and have conclusive evidence as to how it is. There are theories, and a lot of the theories are very problematic. It's why it's not backed up by information, backed up by actual science. Currently, right now, they're looking into it. They're researching it, but there's nothing conclusive to back it up yet.
Yeah, that's definitely informative, and that's really all I wanted. But there's one more thing. I think it was, I don't know if it was a couple of live streams ago, but I clicked on to your live stream and I had a good laugh because now I can no longer make fun of Marvel movies because in these Marvel movies, there's a point to this. I'm trying to say something. All the characters would do to put on a disguise is put on a baseball cap and a jacket, and we're supposed to believe this is a totally different person. And I thought, this is stupid. There's no freaking way anyone would fall for this. Until one day I clicked on a live stream you were on, and you had a hat and this blistering white shirt, and for a split second I was like, wait, who is this? Oh, fuck. Damn, it really...
Dressed androgynous.
Yeah, it just got a laugh out of me because damn, you really can lose who someone is if they just wear a hat and a different shirt. Oh, man. But yeah, other than that, keep up the good work. And I don't know if you've heard this a lot, but you look really good in white. That's all I got to say.
I appreciate that.
Well, y'all have a good evening.
I like white too, but my husband won't let me wear it because I'm missing.
Listen, not enough weed.
Well, see.
Yeah.
Every white shirt that I own has makeup, so.
I have the same problem with white shoes. I mean, I got a few, but I can't wear them. They always look a mess after the fact. But, yeah. Good day to you all, and keep up the good work, and, such and such stuff. I've run out of nice things to say, so I'm just going to say bye. Can you kick me? I have trouble getting out of here.
Have a good one. Thank you for coming up here, and I absolutely loved having this conversation with you.
All right.
Have yourself a wonderful day.
Fun part is, after that conversation ended, when I was still on the live stream, I was still watching the live stream, but after that call ended, the host looked right into the camera and said, "See, I can have normal conversations with people." That made me laugh more than anything because before I called in, the people that were on there were, it weren't all arguing, but there was a lot of people arguing. Some points there was back-to-back arguments, and other points there was just hate. And sometimes there would be things that started normally and then just end with yelling or disagreement. I'm not saying the host has to agree with everybody or everybody has to agree with the host, but this was angry disagreement. This was, I don't know. This was a case of when someone would say, well, I can't think of anything to continue my point, so I'm just going to attack my opposition personally because I can't do it professionally. I can't attack them based off my point isn't strong enough to stand on its own, so I make it personal, so they'll get distracted and they'll forget about the point that they were trying to make and the point I was trying to make, and they'll just focus on that. It was some shit like that. So yeah, for me to have this little blurb about baseball caps and Captain America and Captain America when a soldier or something having a disguise, and then it just ends in, "See, I can't have normal conversations." That made me laugh. That got a nice chuckle out of me.
This information without
All right. Well, I don't really have much in the way of opposition. I just wanted to pitch this idea, keep doing what you're doing. And wait, I do have one thing though. There was a live stream the other day that you and I were both on, where the host was talking about lesbianism. Before I went on that live stream, I saw that when a live stream comes up on your FYP, it has the heading and then like a subheading. And then that subheading, it said that Kaiser recommended you for this live, or like requested you for this live. So I looked at it, I was like, really? Why me? I was like, did you? Or was...
Are you talking about Lily's live?
I think so. Like,
yeah. With Lily, I'm a huge supporter of Lily, and I always join their panel later on in the day, and I always have things to say on Lily's panel because they invite me up there because I have the transgender experience, so I can speak on that. Plus, I can demolish the Bible like no other.
No idea what he's talking about.
But I know what he's talking about. Like when I requested. Yeah.
It says that to everyone that follows you that you're requesting for people to watch the live.
Yeah, I also shared the live a bunch of times yesterday to everybody that was on my friends list because I think everybody needs to hear what Lily has to say because they have a lot of educational information.
Yeah, that makes
not Lily Tina.
That makes way more sense.
Lily Eve. Yeah, so I share their lives all the time because I'm generally always a part of it.
Yeah. Thank you for that, by the way. That wasn't just informative in a lot of aspects in regards to how certain...
Oh, she's very educational with what she has to say. Yeah. I love how intuitive she is when it comes to certain aspects. I really do. And she has a better aspect when it comes to the education of the UK because she's from the UK specifically. Whereas I'm from the US, so I can't really necessarily speak on what's going on in the UK, but I actively listen to everything that she has to say, and I take it down, and I write notes on it.
Yeah. It's, it definitely filled me in on a lot of, because I don't know what it is about, America, but it's there's a weird bubble that everyone seems to be living in, but, why am I explaining this? You know exactly what I'm saying. It's
I always use the joke that America is literally the example of an individual who says, hey, can I copy your test real quick? I promise I'm not going to copy everything, and does it anyways. Because America's been doing that with the UK. Everything that happened in the UK is happening in the US.
Yeah, there's definitely...
the colonization, the whitewashing, that's all that happens in the UK as much as it happens in the US. They just follow the same thing.
All that's missing now is the Brexit.
Not have a singular cuisine for themselves, not once.
I mean, okay, you may have something there, because, I was going to say, well, America does make a good burger, but then again, that's not exactly American. It's
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I'd argue the burger is more closer to, German than anything.
Yeah, I remember finding out there was a place in the world called Hamburg, and I'm like, wait a minute, is that where the hamburger comes from? Hamburg, huh? And then you hear Frankenfurter, okay, that's definitely not American. A Frankenfurter, that really? But yeah, straight up Nathan's hot dogs. The closest thing you get to American food is a Nathan's hot dog. But yeah, other than that, yeah, it made way more sense that when you share the live, it tells people who follow you that, so that you're on the live and whatever. But that makes way more sense than you reached out and picked my profiles to recommend me for this live. Because I was looking at it really? Me?
No, so
why me?
Let me show you something. Take your finger and press it on the screen and hold it there. There should be a screen that pops up with everybody that's on your front page that you can send the live to.
Yeah, right under the notification. Okay.
Yep, that's what I do. I click send to everybody.
Yeah, that was... But thank you for doing that, though. It got really good when that dude came up with the religion, and it gets really interesting whenever the 50 shekels get brought up, because then you see what kind of people really are into this stuff, because people love bringing up the Bible.
I absolutely... So, I hate talking about Christian aspects because it's a little bit triggering for me, but because I was brought up as a Christian and I used to be youth pastor, I can demolish the Bible like no other.
Yeah, it's
because
really,
I know the scripture pretty well.
Speaking of scripture, is there a I heard they were making Passion of the Christ 2. I'm like, is there a sequel to the Bible somewhere that no one told me about?
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know anything about that. Like, at all.
But yeah. I mean, if the last one came out was the highest grossing R-rated movie, imagine what the sequel will do. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. You be sure to have a good day and, hell, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
For every...
Yeah, have a good one.
Alright. For every, like, one guy who comes on and decries this as, like, mental illness or not real, or comes on and voices their discontent on the community, seemingly foisting itself on people when it isn't, there's like a dozen people in the live that are like, no it's not, no it's not, and no it's not. Like, yeah. But anyway, peace to everybody here.
You're fine.
Bye.
Yeah, have a good one. Thank you for coming on.
Like, people in the trans community can be lesbian, but like, something of that thing. It's existing within community, but it can also fall under the different parts of it as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just needed some clarification on gender fluid, because I was looking into non-binary and it started seeming kind of similar, because I've been hearing the term gender fluid more often, and just needed some clearing up, because it did sound a bit like some aspects of asexual. But
right, so non-binary individual, it really depends on which non-binary person you're talking to. Their definitions will change depending on which aspect they are. So when I use non-binary, I use it as an umbrella term because there's many different forms of non-binary. So for me, I'm agender, so I don't recognize gender for myself. But there are non-binary individuals that fluctuate within the binary, which is that of boy, girl, man, woman, or any other gender. So that would be gender fluid. Then there is individuals that like fluctuate more towards the masculine aspects, so that'd be more demi-boy. And then there are individuals that fluctuate more towards the feminine aspect, which would be that of a demi-girl. And then there are individuals that are outside alongside with agender, such as gender apathetic and gender queer. Gender apathetic individuals don't care how they're recognized. They still see themselves as an agender person does, but they don't care how they're recognized, where an agender individual does.
So, gender apathetic. So, yeah, you said they don't care how they're perceived. So, does that kind of slide into non-binary territory? Because as a non-binary person,
they
would
falls
not.
into non-binary. They're gender apathetic, which just means they don't really care how someone calls them. They see themselves as a person, but they don't have an issue with anybody calling them a man, a woman, or any other gender. They're like, whatever. That's where the whole apathetic aspect comes from. They're apathetic to it.
Okay. That definitely clears that up. But in regards to, you brought up the demisexual of it all. Like, what? That is, I'm not going to say it's confused me, but it has led to some questioning in my regards, because it does have some similarities. Because normally when I refer to the community, I stop at LGBT, because afterwards, then I'm like, I don't know much about it. So when it comes to the demisexual, it does tend to seemingly blend.
Demisexual falls underneath the A because it falls underneath the category of asexual.
Okay.
So an asexual individual, an asexual individual is someone that doesn't necessarily partake with the sexual aspect of a relationship. They find other means to engage in relationships rather than go with the sexual route. So a demisexual person is someone who arguably will not get in bed with another person until they get to know them as a person. So getting to know their vibes, right? So I have said this on multiple times. You could be the most attractive fucking person ever, but you could have a shit personality, and I will never want to go anywhere near you.
Makes sense. It also fits in. Oh yeah, you said that. I was gonna say it also fits into like agender and asexuality, but like you said, it is of that sex. So yeah, it definitely It makes a lot more sense now. So yeah, that was my question for the day. And one more thing. I don't know if I do remember I asked you this a while back, because you said that is a good question when we were talking about like men can't communicate, and I brought up this thing as a conversation starter. I don't know if you answered this question, but if you did, like, that's cool. So I do want to know one thing.
Sure.
If your life was a sitcom, what would the theme song be?
Fuck if I know. Babe, any ideas? would just be friends, just with louder clapping.
Okay. Well, that's as good as answer as any. I mean, but yeah, that's all I got. Y'all be sure to have a good day. And wait a minute, are you good?
Who?
Yeah, you. Given all that's been going on, are you good?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. M, my cherry, y'all okay? And his husband, y'all okay in the chat here as well?
I am always good. Sterling's like working out right now. Yeah. Sterling's working out, so they're probably not even like acknowledging right now, which is fine.
Yeah, that's all right, as long as it's all well and good here, and nobody's being upset or treated horribly, and then that's okay. We can all say peace and go our separate ways. The thing about debates like this, back in the day, you could have a debate with somebody about anything. You could totally disagree with each other in every way, but it was understood that at the end of it, y'all were gonna shake hands and just walk away. Nowadays, like, that's no longer a thing. It's, yeah, it's very, like, toxic. Even in, whether it's a live stream or a debate on TV or something, it's just mostly common on live streams here. Because, yeah. Plus, it was understood you could not just say shit unless you could back it up somehow. Because there have been people up here with that feeling.
One second. Right, mute Rager, because
Yeah, it's just the people who've come on this live as well as other lives with just, they'll say this crazy attention-grabbing headline, and then the host of the live, even you, will be like, okay, where's the rest of this newspaper? And it's like, oh, I don't really have a rest of a newspaper. I thought, like, I would say this and you would kick me and my point would come across. I didn't expect you to actually ask me about this. And when you do, it tends to just unravel, and then it's a desperate grabbing of straws. And when you actually go in further on what they try to bring to this debate and it's point out how it's not true, it always falls on the old, why are you getting so mad? Like, why are you angry? Why so loud? Or something like, that's when you know, okay, this person has no point. It's just,
yeah.
But other than that, bye, and, yeah. Keep up the good work.
This is why we need a W man on the moon emote, because I absolutely adore you. You're one of my favorite viewers of all time. Like, we have Sarah who gives the gifts and, like, really overdoes it when they do gifts, and I really want to speak to them about that because I want to make sure they have money to afford on their own. But then we have you who comes in here for mental health checks and to like talk. So like I'm really happy with it, and like honestly, you're an amazing person, and this is why I need a man on the moon, like a W man on the moon emote, and I plan on making one because you definitely deserve it.
Thank you. That is very much appreciated.
Thank you for coming up here, though, friend.
All right. Peace be upon you.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with rigatoni, though, when it comes to pasta and such, but that's neither here nor there. I wanted to bring up that, I was scrolling through the internet and I found out apparently last night, see, you would think with all the craziness going on in Florida and with the hurricane and all that, all the craziness would stop, the general craziness we're used to, but no, apparently. People still be doing weird things, because apparently last night in Missouri, this relates to the bathroom thing, because there was a dude who got thrown out of a hotel, not once, but twice, after going into the ladies' room and sticking a camera under the stalls. So, yeah, everybody who's ever came on these lives and said, the trans women will come in and do insidious things, or a dude will just say that he's trans and come in to do insidious things. This was just a guy. This was not a trans guy. This was just a random creep who decided to come in, and the sign on the door did not stop them. They just did it. So yes, just hopefully that puts an end to that.
They're saying that you have an echo. Can you like mute? Wait. Hold up. They're saying you have an echo. Can you like mute, swipe out of the app and then come back?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I do. No echo. Yes, no, maybe so.
Test.
No echo. Okay, hold on.
There's a delay. Oh, I would also like to add, when you like whisper deep into the microphone, it gives, I don't know what it was, but for some reason I was just reminded of Ed, and Eddie, when Eddie was trying to convince Ed of something, and you just saw the inside of Ed's brain, and like right on the side you could see Eddie's lips just moving up and down, whispering like, just think about it, Melonhead. Like this. Whoa. But yeah.
I'm glad my voice gives you nostalgia. I'm fully ready to give it up as soon as people stop commenting about it. I just think it's really funny. And I hate it. I hate ASMR so much, and it's so triggering for me.
Yes, absolutely.
We go back to normal just for you. Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Y'all good?
Next
Oh,
person.
okay. In Florida with the storm and everything, y'all are fine. I mean, I know roads are closed and everything, so like, well, not closed, but like inaccessible, for lack of a better word. Oh,
Right now,
okay.
we're fine. We'll see what happens come 2 o'clock in the morning. But we'll see.
Okay, but should everything turn out okay? Though stores may be damaged and roads may be inaccessible, on the upside, don't worry, because your good friends Logan Paul and KSI are going to come in with cases upon cases of Prime, because someone decided it would be a good idea to deliver Prime to areas affected by the hurricane. Not water, not toiletries, Prime energy drink, because I don't know. It has like crazy levels of caffeine, yes. To the point they banned it in certain countries, yes.
I can't remember the name of the chemical, but it starts with like a P. And there's more of that in one prime energy you're supposed to consume in your entire life. Yikes.
And
we're going to move on to the next person, man. But I do appreciate you, and I love you very much. Thank you so much for always coming up here and giving insightful information. W Man in the Moon.
Bye, all.
I need to work on that emote. I really do.
Okay.
Really do.
I prayed for this. There's well, to give some context and update, guys is okay from what I've seen. Everything's fine. Survived the events of the Floridian hurricane. Not Helene, but Milton? Yeah. Milton. Paradise Lost, that is Florida. It's fitting almost. But anyway, so yeah, I prayed on that. I didn't pray that. Well, okay, I prayed that. See, I don't be praying a lot because not that I don't believe in it. I believe in the power of prayer. I believe in the power of God. I believe in Christianity. It's just I don't pray a lot because I don't know. I pray when I feel like there's something I need, not necessarily okay, both something I want and need, but like more or less something I need because it's a prayer. It's asking the Almighty with all the power that the Almighty God has to do something for you. And it's like, it was kind of a case of, well, you know, you've given me a lot, but at the same time, you've also taken a lot. And you haven't heard from me in a while because everything's been pretty good. And, I want to say thank you for how good everything's been. Thank you and I hope it stays that way. That's one of the things I'm praying for right now. That as good as things are, may they stay that way. Because I know as good as something is, it can always get worse. So I was asking, like, hey, can the good stay good and the bad stay away from me and people I care about? And, while I'm here, while I'm here, could you like I didn't say that though. I tried to because I approach prayer almost like a conversation. So it's almost like, uh, in while I'm asking for things, keeping things as good as they are. I don't ask for a lot, but could you just, keep? I know Florida's got a bit of a storm coming, and you know, there's nothing I can do about that. But could you just, I know Florida's not exactly a place with the greatest of people, but there's some individuals over there who are good people, who haven't done anything wrong to people, who are just trying to live the lives they want to live. And, particularly, you know, I didn't say so I name dropped them and I said, Leo, could you just like, I understand I asked you to keep an eye on the people I love and the people I care about, but could you also look over at Florida and keep an eye on this person that I've recently started. I don't know. This person that I recently started considering friend. Yeah, a friend to me. This person who's been nice to me. This person who's said nice things about me. That I don't see a friend just because they said nice things about me, but like, because I don't, yeah, for a simple reason of just this person who was nice to me when I was running low on people who shit I could call people I could call friends who was nice to me when I was running low on people who were nice to me. And it's just, could you do that for me? If if that's within your mouth, could you see to it that they survive this craziness? Could you see to it that they come out of this okay? Because, a lot of people have been put in the ground. I've seen a lot of people be put in the ground who shouldn't be. I've seen a lot of people who are still walking who shouldn't be. I would just like this one person who should very much still be among us, and is doing good among us to continue being among us. Like I don't ask for a lot, but if there was one thing I could ask for, you know, recently to extend beyond what I normally ask for, this would be it. And if, you know, shit, I know that as I said, they would be all right, or they would everything would be okay because of where they were or what the fuck ever. But like I saw the aftermath of what this fucking hurricane did to this stadium, and I'm just thinking, holy soap, this is a stadium, a big ass stadium that's been torn to shit by a hurricane. And now it's like, oh man, if they can do that to a stadium, what the fuck can it do to a house? It's like okay, I'm worried. Previously I wasn't worried because it was like light concern, a bit concerned because well, this person lives in Florida and Florida's got this big storm going. So it's like, and what? You can't evacuate? Fuck. It's like, how can I not be worried? There's all this going on. And so, yeah, got on my knees and prayed and everything. So when the next day, today, yeah, the next day, this was the 10th, I think. So on the 10th, when, you know, I think it was last night. Yeah, it was the no. It was the 11th. No, or I don't know. No, it was 12th in the morning because I fell asleep in the morning. It was the 12th, and I hadn't heard anything because the last time I saw guys was the 9th. That was the last live stream, and then on the 10th there was nothing, which was concerning because on that last live stream they said, "Oh yeah, if everything turns out okay, we'll be live tomorrow. Same time and everything." And then tomorrow came, there was no live. The day after, still no live. So it's like, okay, fuck. Now I'm really concerned. Now it's like, okay, I I'm genuinely concerned. There's nothing I can really do about this. I started thinking, well, what if, you know, that was it was the last time you would see them, and it became a thing of like, okay, um, well, I cannot do something about it, but I know who might. So I know who has the power to do something about it if it's in the realm of possibility. So, you know, it was, yeah, it was, that was the go to. There's, Yeah, that was the go-to because it was the biggest option I could. It was the best option I could take in that moment. Got down on my knees and you know asked asked the one asked the man upstairs. Hey, I got this friend in town of Florida. Could really use. Could you like keep an eye on them and see to it that they're okay? Because prayer isn't designed to benefit you. It's designed to. From what I've believe prayer isn't designed just to help you. It's designed so you can do good things for other people, or so you can wish good things upon other people. So, if there was ever time for me to do it, it would be when I want something nice to happen for someone else. I'm not gonna get on my knees and pray for something nice to happen to me. Like that's I don't know that seems very narcissistic and it goes against the point of it all. But yeah, so I did it. Got on my knees and prayed, and shit, I let myself be vulnerable for a sec. So this was in the morning. No, I went to bed, woke up, and just went about the day as much as I could. Florida on my mind. This was on my mind, and randomly, I'm watching Matrix Resurrection style trailer for Sucker Punch because I was watching the Double Toasted episode on Sucker Punch. This is a Double Toasted movie review about Sucker Punch, and then lo and behold, as this damn trailer comes to an end, the fucking notification pops up. Um, the fucking notification pops up, and it says, fucking thing says, Kaiser invites you to watch their live. And I'm like, wait. You shouldn't me? Open the notification bar, and it's like right there because I had the notification bar on the 9th. Because, yeah, I'm like, I'm not going to remove that because I'm like, I don't want to forget, want to remember. I want to remember that this person is out there and this person is, you know, amidst all this shit. And it's kind of the reason why this person was on my mind because right there, whenever I would open notifications, it would say like on the 9th of the 10th of whatever, so and so invited you to watch their live stream. And that was the last I saw of it. So that would be the thing. As the days would go by and I didn't hear anything, I would know, okay, it's been X amount of hours or X amount of days since I last saw this person. I'm like, okay, something has happened or something didn't happen, what the fuck ever. But this one was today. This one didn't have a date on it. It had a time on it because the notification was sent like I think at 5. Yeah, like 5 in the afternoon. I got this notification, and it literally said like fucking 5 in the afternoon, whatever that time was. And when I saw that, like, I I pressed it. It like loaded and loaded, and it didn't come on immediately. It was just like got that weird like TikTok loading thing, and hmm, hot damn man, I saw that shit and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe my fucking eyes, man. I granted it was like what 2 days since I last saw this person, but it was like, it just kept ringing in my head, like the words, "I prayed for this." I never thought I'd be, never thought I'd be glad to see that fucking black background of why do you hate the 2S LGBT? Like I never thought I'd be glad to see that fucking background again, but like yeah, I saw that background, I saw that face all dressed in white. I'm like, I started laughing. Like the live stream had just started, by the way. So just typed in, glad to see you're safe. I wanted to do and on the third day reference, like because on the third day he rose, but then like I remembered I don't actually know what that is from. I know it's in the Bible somewhere, but I'm like, wait a minute, is it on the third day, as in the third day Christ rose, or is it on the third day, as in like, on day 7 he rested or something, like, and on the third day this happened. So I looked that up. By that point, like a minute had passed, and like not even a minute, and it was back to normal, because all the messages were like, hey, glad to see you're alive, glad to see you're safe, glad everything's okay. A bunch of people had done that, and like not even a minute later, someone sends in a message going, is that a he or a she? It's like, fuck's sake, man. That moment was gone. any concern had evaporated seemingly. That moment was just poof. And I was like, fuck's sakes, bro. Bring the haters along. They're okay. All the good people have said their piece. Now the weirdos are back. Business as usual. No. Oh shit! I started laughing, and like I'm like still watching the live. Like the I'm just watching the live stream, and like I started laughing, like laughing really hard and like almost hysterical, like and I started crying. Kid you not, I started crying in this shit. Like I laughed so hard, I started crying. Like tears were coming out of my eyes. I was laughing so damn hard. I was like legit needed a minute. Like I wasn't commenting nothing. I wasn't even touching the phone. The phone was just sitting on my bedside. I'm just like sitting there laughing and crying, and I'm just like, holy shit. I'm happy you're alive. It's been a while. It's been a while because it's been a while since I felt this way about anything. Like, I haven't been worried about someone in so long that I could just uh, be like, shit, I'm happy you're alive. Like, fuck that, you know, I don't know, shit is business as usual or what the ever. Like, I'm glad you're safe. I'm glad everything's okay. But more than anything, shit, I'm just happy you're alive. Like, I don't give a fuck what's being said right now. I don't give a what's happening on this live stream. I don't give a about that or what the fuck ever. It's like, you know, I'm not saying exactly like, hey, I prayed for this and it happened. Yeah, I did pray for this and it did happen. I'm not saying that's directly what led to it, but like, you know, I like I said at the start, I prayed for this. And the fact that it happened is like, man, I already had faith. I already had faith in the Lord and the powers of that. But like when like the fact that I was in a vulnerable enough position that I could like pray for this to happen and then it does, it just it felt good. Can't explain. I don't know. It felt good. I just sat there crying about it for like I don't know. I hadn't felt this way in a long time, and I was sitting there laughing, crying, and laughing, and just wiping the tears out of my eyes. And I don't know. I don't know. Just I was shit. I was happy. Something. I was happy. This person I've never met, I've spoken to, but never met, that I've seen, but has never seen me. And I was happy that they were. I was just happy to see their face. Like, damn, you know, shit. It's yeah, got me right in the feels. That was a good. Yeah, I had a good cry. I haven't done that in a while, so it's like I don't cry a lot. Like when I do cry, it's for a reason. So like something big. So when something happens and it actually brings me to tears, like it actually like brings tears from my eyes, and I'm bawling. I wasn't like bawling my eyes out like blubbering or anything, but like I was straight up like the tears was flowing. But like yeah, this was definitely one of those moments that I couldn't help it. Just the emotion got so big, and just, I keep saying that thing. I prayed for this. I prayed for this, and it just yeah. No, I was genuinely worried. I was that might like that last conversation was the last conversation, and I was beyond elated to find out that it wasn't. That yeah. Even I did check out of the live for a bit because yeah, they had to refresh the page, so I did check out, check back in like an hour later, and like they were back at it, business as usual, talking with some dude who didn't believe that the community was under threat, and they were putting that dude in his place. I'm like, you know, I just, I was just watching. Like I checked out again. It's like, oh, shit. No, I checked back in a third time, and the live was just chilling. The background was switched off, and they seemed to be just vibing. Guys just seemed to be just vibing, and it was yeah, there was music playing, and like, really enough, guys, I had an acoustic guitar, and they were playing music on it and singing, and I love when the vibe, the live stream is just so chill. Like that's the vibe that we're going for. Like just like just got music playing, and just having a chill vibe that day. Only good vibes today. Like that was brilliant. Like that was, I don't know, it was perfect. Goddamn beautiful living. Oh, yeah. I wish, I mean, I really enjoyed when the live stream is like that. When there's no, you know, topic of discussion, when they're just chilling and they're just vibing and everything is just good. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's what we can, ah, I don't know. I'm rambling here, but like, I felt good. It's like, yeah, it just felt good to watch this. The whole thing of it, like, just just to sit there, listen to music, and chit chatting in the comment section and all this shit. No opposition, no anger, no yelling, and nothing. Just good vibes. Like it's what you ask, what you hope for when you go on a live stream, what you strive to get. Like whether you're the one watching or you're the one hosting, you want good vibes all around. You want a good time to be had by all. And it's just fuck's sake, bro. I wanted to cry. Like, holy shit. Oh, oh man. Just yeah, that was that. That's that's how I felt about that. That really had me in the feels. That was uh today was a day of feeling. You say like you hear talk of like, oh, this was a day of healing, or this was a day of forgiveness or something. Well, today was a day of feeling, motherfuckers. That's what that shit is. This was a day of feeling because I felt that shit. So many things, I'm just like today was I was really wrapped up in the feels for the first time in a long time. I was vulnerable. I had to sit there and fucking reckon with my thoughts and emotions on things. And you know, I'm glad I am where I am. I'm glad the way things are. It's like really makes me take stock of people around me and the things that I'm going through, the things they're going through. It makes me like want to like look around and ask like, hey, how you doing? Like how you been? I know it's been a while, but I want to know like, are you okay? Is everything good on your end? Like everything all right physically and mentally and shit. Like want you to know that I'm glad you're in my life. I just wanted to. Damn, I wanted to say some shit like that. It was the right moment to do so. It just, it never. Man, I could have said that at the beginning. I wanted to say that right at the beginning when that notification popped up, like, "Hey, I'm happy you're alive." This, and that. But like, if I'd have said that, I would have started crying. I would have cried through that. So I just needed to like, that's why I didn't. That's why I took a minute and just like sat there and watched the live stream at the beginning. And the second time when I clicked on, oh, they were back in the topic again, and business as usual. So it's like, all right, I'll check back in later when things have toned down a bit because it's pretty heated right now. And the third time around, the topic was gone. All that shit it was just gone. And it seemed like they were just vibing. So it's like, you know what? Let me keep my ass out of this. This is, there'll be plenty of time for that at a later stage. That'll be something to do at a later time. So just, yeah, I'm happy they're alive. Shit. Keep saying that, but damn it, I mean it. I'm happy they're alive. Glad they're still out there doing their thing, helping people however they can, informing those who need to be informed, and just being. There's people in the world who like happy just to be, but like this is a rare change. I'm happy that someone else is out there. That this it's just out there. Like I'm happy that you're around. Because like it or not, whether some like it or they don't, we need people like this, out in the world who just, well, shit, I need. Uh, I don't know. I'm rambling at this point, but yeah, so glad, so sad, and then glad again, rejoiceful, and thankful, and just all in the fields today. That's what it's been. It's been just one of those days where the feelings are at an all-time high. But yeah, Anyway, that's all I gotta say on that. Um, yeah, that's all I have to say on that.